Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Excuse me. See ya.
Gotcha.
Welcome to Talking Horses. He's the big A, Anthony Stabile. I'm not. How you doing today?
I'm well.
9 race card Saturday.
Yeah.
A lot of action. We're put up Fairgrounds. A lot of stuff going on at Fairgrounds.
Lots of stuff happening. Lots
You
of
have
good
one
races.
big opinion at Fairgrounds today?
Unless that turf course turns into an absolute highway.
You're getting that 3-1 on Colonel Liam? You're all in on Colonel Liam at 3-1?
I don't know how Colonel Liam gets beaten that race today. Unless, and that's happened on both big day, on Risen Star Day and Louisiana Derby Day last year, it was, you couldn't make up an inch of ground. Be very, very careful. But if not, Colonel Liam is Katie bar the door today.
Really?
Yeah.
Think he overwhelms that field that badly?
Yes.
Okay.
I absolutely do.
Okay. We'll see. That's the Munez. That's race 43 on their 48 race card. They just run continuously.
I think we decided it was
starting at
race
midnight.
12, right? Because the Oaks and the Derby are the last
What
two.
time is? Well, I looked. Their first race coming up in just 19 minutes.
6:4. Well, the Louisiana Derby is 6:44.
Our time.
Our time.
So that would be around 5:30 to 5:45.
5:30ish. Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't see how he gets beat if that place isn't on super high.
Wow. Don't see how
I
he
don't.
gets beat.
I don't see how he gets beat. Well, they have the turf rating.
One thing
good.
my man Anthony Stabile does not lack is confidence.
No, I mean he looks like a horse that's going to be a player in the division, and he's running against horses down there that take turns beating each other, and now there's a real horse coming in to beat them all.
All right, you heard it here first, or second, or
Just
third.
keep an eye on the turf course because they haven't run on the turf for the last 2 days.
Don't miss the turf course. I don't know what he's talking about, but you know what I know? You need to head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of NairaBets.com, head on over to NairaBets.com. Use the promo code MATCH200. Become a member. We will match you to $200 of your initial deposit. Playing through Naira Bets, and this is the second of 5 Saturdays, I believe, leading
Correct.
up the Derby. You bet 50 or more on any horse in the Louisiana Derby today, and this is for the Triple Crown preps. Next week, I guess, Florida Derby. Then we have the Wood Memorial, and then I assume the Arkansas Derby.
Very good, Andy.
After that, and I'm on top of my.
Money goes in Thursday.
You're in a big hurry there, aren't you, Francisco?
He's well
app
rested.
only, app
He's well
only,
rested.
$50, and you'll get $20 back. I was going to bet $30 last week on a horse, and I changed it to $50 because I knew I'd get 20 back.
And that
and
money
my
will
horse
be,
ran third.
Money will be in your account Thursday, April 29th.
Which was a big price. Cross country pick 5. We got 3 at Oaklawn, 2 at Aqueduct, 6, 7, and 8 at Oaklawn. Sandwiched around. It's triple decker. The 8th and 9th here.
Casadero's back in the gazebo down there today. He was 2 for 2, won the Bashford Manor, then he stubbed his toe in the Saratoga Special.
Butt kicked by
haven't seen him,
Jackie's
Jackie's
Warrior.
Warrior. Haven't seen him since. I'm looking forward to his return.
Really?
And that Jackson Traveler, who I believe was stabled up here, but as a Maryland bred, was shipping down to Pimlico and Laurel.
Jackson, he's not related to Jackson Bend, is he?
Or I Love Jackson.
I love Jackson Bend.
It's Jackson like I Love Jackson, with the X.
I love Jackson Bend.
Yeah, West Point.
Jackson
Steve
Bend
Asmus.
was an amazing horse.
Jackson Bend, Stanley Gold, and then Nick
Tremendous
Zito.
horse, yeah, tremendous horse.
Did he win the Carter? Or did he get beat a nose in the Carter?
Oh, he beat Caleb by a nose.
He won the Carter.
Didn't he? Yeah, because Caleb lost all those races by a nose before he got hurt. He lost the Bold Ruler.
2012, right?
He lost the Carter, or the Tom Fuller Bold Ruler, whatever it was, and then he lost to Shackelford in the Met, and then he got hurt.
Won the Breeders' Cup.
What a horse he was.
Won the Breeders' Cup as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, Jackson Bend, I think.
2011.
Jackson Bend won the 2 stakes. The stake we don't run anymore. What was it called? What was the 7 furlong stake we had opening day at Saratoga that we turned into the John Nehru?
Oh,
The Belmont Sprint Championship. What's the name of that race?
No.
It's on opening day.
Still have the Vanderbilt.
Somebody will text me. No, and then he won the Forego. Corey Nakatani wrote him. Tell you something, when Corey came that summer, the person who gave him his best chances was Nick. And he had a great meet, but Nick's the one who was giving him mounts when he first got there.
Wow, what was the 7 furlong race?
It's named after a horse.
A Phenomenon?
No.
No, it was 6.
No, the A Phenom became the Vanderbilt.
Became the Vanderbilt. It was named after a horse.
I think it was named after a horse. It was opening day. It was 7 furlong race. And Jackson Bend won that, and then he won the Forego. I think $18. Turning back.
I don't remember.
All right. Race number 1. Race numero uno today. You've got some horses, I don't know, there's a bunch coming out of the same race. The horse that I don't like, you just went to the old, is the number 5.
I haven't got to do this in a long time.
You know, Linda Rice, here's a stat for you, though. Second-time starters for Linda, going maiden special weight to maiden claimer on the dirt. She's just 4 for 22 with a $1.14 ROI. Stretching out, she's 2 for 4. But still, for somebody who has those amazing numbers, those second-time starters, when she drops them, they don't win at the same high percentage. I thought that was sort of interesting.
Okay.
You're just going for the old
Yes.
second time out for Linda Rice?
That is
Why
correct.
not?
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with Purple Hearted here. This horse spent most of the race right on the rail, kind of jumped up at the start. I don't think this horse would stay at the start. I thought he jumped up at the start. I don't think that he ran badly in there, but he was right down the inside the whole way. So maybe a two-path briefly, but he ended the rail on the stretch. I wasn't impressed. I thought he was kind of a suck-up.
You thought he was a suck-up second? Yeah, I'm hoping a little more. It looked like a little more ground helped him last time. See if a little more ground helps him today and the drop. I just took the two droppers. Yeah, you know, there's some interesting horses. This field's full of droppers, though, so that's the problem. You got Jade's Dream. You got Jade's Dream. You got the horse you put on top, King Moon Racer.
Jade's Dream, who I liked last time.
Yep.
He was bad last time. Now, he was coming off of a 3-month layoff, but that's not that long a layoff. And he was just bad in that race. I was not impressed by his performance that day. I guess he can win.
Supposed to be the speed here, no?
Yeah, he is the speed. But yesterday we saw a pretty fair track. We'll see if the track has changed, but it was fair yesterday. I want King Moon Racer, who got bet first time out, chased 3 to 4 wide against a gold rail, and fell apart, but gets Lasix for the second start, and this horse was badly compromised with the track. So I'm going to go with the horse in here that was compromised with the track, and obviously I'll use Linda as well, but I thought you'd get a better price on this one, so I went 4-1.
I just thought when you combine this horse against the racetrack and then everything else, the drop, the blinkers, the Lasix, I don't know. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And he took money first time out.
Race number 2. You know why I picked this race? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Did you really?
I got a call. I got a text.
Wow.
It was the James Marvin. I'll tell you, the biggest upset about it, getting the answer was that Naja Thompson sent to me. Mr. New York bred. He's correct. You are correct, Naja.
They start with an advantage.
They do. So I've heard. So at least you didn't go back to Hammer and Hammer. Speaking of Hammer and Hammer, let's go back to race 2 back. He won, coming up the good inside. And the thing was, he beat Bluegrass Smile that day, and Bluegrass Smile was wide against the track, while Hammer and Hammer saved ground, came through towards the inside to split horses. Bluegrass Smile ran the much better race. Then last time out, he was wide again against a gold rail. So you've got a horse that came back in a week, has 2 straight races where he was against the track. Now he's actually had a month off since his last race, or 4 weeks off, essentially, 27 days. I got to go back to Bluegrass Cat Smile in here. I didn't want any Hammer and Hammer. You apparently have some sort of deal where every time Mills runs, you have to pick him?
I didn't pick him when he won.
Every time except when he won.
I thought it was. I thought this race.
How many times have you picked him in his last?
Plenty.
Since he won.
I had him when he won, and then I didn't have him when he won.
So I'd say you picked him about 8 times recently.
No, probably 5.
At least.
Just under the.
Maybe
ROI.
Naja knows the answer to that.
Just under the ROI.
He's on his game today.
Maybe he does. He watches that intently.
What's the deal with him? He was awful last time.
I know he was. He was awful last time. He was awful 3 starts back, but he was good in between. And
well, he wasn't awful 3 steps back. He actually was uncomfortable racing inside of horses. It was last time that he was particularly bad.
Well, I'm hoping he has a good one in him today. I thought it was him and Bluegrass Cat Smile.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't like anybody else in here.
I thought the whole race was open to just about anybody, to be honest with you. I'm going to give Frankie Barone one more chance on a dry track. I can't completely give up on him.
No, of course not.
I just can't pick him on top because I tried him on top, and it just seems a little bit silly at this point. I even think Hero's Hope, another horse who chased outside against a gold rail last time. He said some excuses in his races. He's not that bad. See,
and he'll be on the bill. We're talking about a horse that's going to be on the bill daily today. I mean, there's no other speed in this race.
I don't agree with you at all. I think Playwright will probably show speed. I think Bluegrass Smile should be aggressive. I think Manny should ride him.
Playwright hasn't shown speed, though, since the claim. I can't imagine they're going to stay
Maybe
the
you're
same
right.
Playwright.
I'm going to use the 4. You know what's...
He'll be. I would be very surprised if Hero's Hope's not in front today.
I was shocked that David Aragona liked Playwright in here.
I
mean, to be fair, he's not wrong. He was against the track big time last time. I don't disagree. Having said that, I just am sick of this horse.
Yeah, he just kind of runs the same race every time he goes out there.
He was against the track last time. His last race is actually much better than it looks, to be fair. But I can't take him.
No, he hasn't won.
But he can win. But is there anybody in here that you want to?
No.
Really? I mean, you say it's all 1s and 3s. I think you're insane. I think this race can be won by anybody in here.
Yeah.
I don't like Hammer and Hammer. I won't be shocked if he wins.
No, I understand. You won't be shocked, but you kind of feel like 2 starts back was the time. Kind of sick of Playwright's antics. Frankie Barone.
Why is Mills more likely to win than Playwright? Mills has been pitiful. Even when he won, it's not like he ran that well. He had the run of the race. He had a perfect trip.
I think Mills.
Honestly, I probably shouldn't even put him third.
Mills' good races are better than Playwright's good races. And if Mills runs his good race, he's more likely to beat Playwright.
But at least Playwright's got consistent form.
I guess.
I mean, Mills has no consistency whatsoever. Race number 3, the Cicada. You know what I'm going to say about the Cicada?
What are you going to say,
I think
Andy?
the Cicada might have been. Is it possible? No. I was going to say it was Ruffian's return race, but I think she won the Cumley.
I wasn't here.
I have the charts of all races at home somewhere. No, I don't think. The Cicada was it always run in the winter? I was thinking the Cumley when it was 7 furlongs. It was the prep for the Acorn.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
I think she won an allowance, the Cumley, the Acorn, the Mother Goose, the CCA Oaks. Because she was 5 races as a 2-year-old, and 5 races as she was 10 for 10. So we'll take a look at Tom Amos's horse, Save. A little disappointed that my friend Tom Amos will not be attending. He was going to have to pay for his flight, so. I'm going to tell you something. I know this horse is loose. And unless we have a different track than yesterday, I don't think it's any advantage to this horse. I don't think this horse beat much.
You may be right. You may be right. It looks like if the 3 outside fillies all run to their figs, they're pretty evenly matched. I just think having the pace advantage she has now, especially with Irish Constitution out of there, I mean, I just think that gives her a decided edge. If they all can run the same race and have all run similar, put forth similar efforts, and she's going to have, I mean, she is controlling this race.
No, I don't know.
You don't know, Andy.
Because I don't think it really matters. See, you and I have a very, very different opinion on racing. You think being the controlling speed creates a magic that I don't think it does. You do. It's just a difference of opinion.
I think
especially on a short price horse. It's one thing when you're trying to get a horse home at 4 to 1 in a race, and you think, I got a horse that's maybe not quite good enough to win, but is be able to control here, and I'm going to get paid. Now you're talking about a horse that's going to be around even money that every jerk can see.
I understand
and I
that.
agree, is a loose on paper, but I don't know that's necessarily an advantage that's going to make the horse. And the other thing is, in a small field, pace advantages are not as significant because these are the type of races where the fields end up getting bunched. I mean, I
don't think Kendrick's going to bunch this field.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Good luck to that.
I don't think Kendrick's going to bunch this field.
You're so on top of these pace scenarios.
I think...
How much do you think Save will be in front by the quarter?
How far? When they hit the half-mile pole?
That would be a quarter mile in the race.
2 lengths.
6 furlongs is 3/4 mile.
She'll be 2 in front.
Okay, I'll bet you she's less.
For the lunch?
Sure. You're down to 61. Okay. Yep. Minus 2 lengths, quarter, half mile. 61. Big lunch.
Do I get 2?
What?
I get 2? If she's a length and 3/4,
2 is
you
a
win?
push.
2 is a push.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll be under it, so it won't really matter. I'm going to tell you something else. I think Linda's horse is okay, Salt Plage. I think Salt Plage is okay. Salt Plage lost to a good horse in Street Loot last time. I know she came back, and I don't think she won, but it was trying to go a mile. But she was 7 for 8 when she won that race. She's pretty good. It worries me a little that Linda's only been running this horse out of town.
You know that's where I was going to go with this. Why is that? I mean, it's not like she's a PA bred and she went to Parks for a bone. There's no reason this horse was sent out of town. None. The pot's considerably less. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, maybe she had horses for the races that the horse was going to run in.
Maybe.
I like Just Read It. We'll take a look at Just Read It's last dirt race. I know that was a weird race.
Is it Read It or Read It?
No, it could be Reddit. You're probably right. No,
I don't know. I
no,
have
just
no clue.
Reddit would make sense. I can
call my arch nemesis.
We're supposed to just read
Ray
it.
Handel, right? Or you could be yelling like, "Just read it."
Ray, very, very active on Twitter yesterday. I know this wasn't much of a field, no doubt about it, but this was a fast race, and I think that Ray understands, and that's the reason I disagree with you. Ray understands that Save is loose, and Ray has a horse that has the speed to be closer, and I think this horse is going to be a little bit closer in here. And I'll tell you something else. The fact that they're not running Irish Constitution, now for all I know is a vet scratch or something, so I could be wrong. But
well, she ran 8 days ago.
Okay, but she could have run this race and provided some help for Just Read It or Read It.
I mean, I think the way you really want to look at it is she was entered to make sure the race went.
Also a possibility.
That's what I.
Isn't that a good sign? The
yeah.
only thing wrong with this is that don't
They've
Ray
been-
Handel
listen,
ship this horse down to turf way to run in synthetic.
They're high. Well, and that was the problem.
What's Ray's record on synthetic?
Ray's
he
won a
don't
bunch of
win?
races down there.
Oh, has he?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ray.
Ray's won a bunch of races down there.
You're still kind of a dope, but has he really?
Oh yeah.
Purses are good down there.
Yeah. A couple of old ex-New Yorkers. Well, I think Women Not Easy and Implied Volatility won down there for him.
Applied volatility.
Yeah.
Well, he's more of a turf. She's more of a turf horse.
They were high on this filly, and she was a universal good thing when she won. She was tipped all over the place.
Yes, she should never have been that price.
She galloped. Why go to Turfway? I don't know why you go to Turfway. And I'll tell you
Well,
what.
as you
she
said,
didn't
Ray's
run.
ripping it up down there.
She didn't run 2 steps.
Well, it's synthetic. What do I care?
Right. I don't either. But why go? Why go?
That's
It wasn't like it was a
Pearl Jam
huge
song,
purse.
Why go?
Why go? Yeah, great song. Well, I mean, $64,000 pot. I don't know. That move made no sense to me. And she's coming back in 3 weeks with a ship back and forth underneath her belt. I don't know. This looked too easy for me, especially with the scratch. It looked too easy.
I don't like Save.
Okay.
I think Save's a fun.
Obviously.
I think Saves. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the horse wins for Tom. I think this horse is. I'm not. I'm a little bit unsure. I wonder if this horse is just not that good. Now, maybe she's just better than the horse she's running against. I won't be shocked if she wins.
One horse is running, and that's what I did. One horse is running Parks and Laurel. The other horse was shipped to Turfway for I don't know what reason. And now you have a filly that's coming up.
You look at a
She's
lot of
shipping
handicap
for the
things that
right
I don't
reason.
believe matter, but
See, she's shipping for the right reason, and I feel like the other two shipped for the wrong reason. So that's part of it as well. I know she's the favorite. There's nothing I can do about that. But the 3 and 5, Salt Plage and Just Read It, shipped for the wrong reasons, in my opinion.
maybe it's Just Read It.
This filly.
Can we move on? We're repeating the same thing over and over again.
That's all I want to say.
Race number 4. This is the race that Breakfast at Bonnie's scratched out of to run in this week. Pleasure Luck. I think there was something with shipping over here where she ended up scratching late.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
take a look at Breakfast at Bonnie's breaking her maiden last time for Danny Gargan. I think I put the stat up. We'll go right to the stat afterwards if I sent it.
Sure, you want to do that?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. You're the guy. You're going to be 3 for 3, by the way. You had 2 yesterday where you left obvious horses out of your 1, 2, 3, 4, and they both won. You did it again in this race.
Who was the other one?
Oh, I
Civil
Shane's
War.
Pretty Lady.
How's it with Civil War yesterday, by the way? Whew.
Good enough to beat that field like he looked like he probably was on paper. This horse won on a sloppy sealed track. I know this horse ran very well. Danny Gargan, for what it's worth, second start, I think 3 or 4 of them were very short prices in here. Second start, off a maiden win and debut, he's 0 for 7. He's 0 for 2. No, stretching out, he's 0 for 2 in that sample. These horses have not, and it's a small sample, and I understand, but I just think it's important enough when the horse is going to be a very big favorite. This horse is the horse to beat. I don't totally trust this horse.
Listen,
and I don't think this field is a bunch of bums.
In those 5 seconds, right? Danny hasn't run that many horses. 15 starters, 5 wins, 5 seconds. A handful of those second place finishes have burnt up an awful lot of money. An awful lot of money.
So I'm going to try to beat this one. Now listen, we'll take a look at Pleasure Luck running second 2 races back. I'm sorry, last time, and it's Shane's Pretty Lady 3 back. And once again, Shane's Pretty Lady is on a dead rail. Pleasure Luck had the run of the race. Pleasure Luck ran very well. I think Pleasure Luck is very logical in this spot. I have no problem with her. I'm a little curious, though. Why don't you have Shane's Pretty Lady 1, 2, 3, 4, and you've got slow horses like Teetotaler and Valoran third and fourth?
I've kind of seen, for me, I've seen enough of her.
Here's my problem. There are a lot of things you say that I disagree with.
Okay.
But you say a lot of reasons why you don't like horses in races, which I disagree with the majority.
I don't think she does a lot of running in her races.
Let me finish here. You said something last time about her that I clearly remember, but you just made up at the time and don't remember at all, which was a very valid point. When she improved 3 back, and then when she ran another similar race, because she was down the inside, she ran on Lasix. Well, you didn't remember this when you handicapped. It was a very
circle.
But that's not the point. The point is you made a point of this on the air, and I thought it was actually a valid point, that going off Lasix had to be of a concern. She was also wide, a race that was dominated inside, and the rail was good. I think the track was fairish, but the rail was the place to be. but she didn't run quite as well without Lasix. Well, now she gets Lasix back. And to not have her in the top 4? I mean, okay, you don't have to pick her, that's fine, but to have her below Valorant and Teetotaler? I know Chad thinks Teetotaler's improved a little bit since her last race. She needs to improve a lot more than a little bit.
I don't disagree with that, but one horse is going to be, well, I guess Pleasure Luck will be the second choice in here.
You're not following along.
I follow along what you're saying.
You made a valid point last time, but now the horse is back with Lasix, so either you were completely wrong last time, and the horse just didn't have a trim.
Well,
it wasn't quite good enough.
I think there's a chance I was a little wrong because I don't think she ran that badly last time, and maybe the Lasix is not the issue.
But I'm gonna give her one final chance.
Okay.
One final chance.
Okay.
Because I'm not sold on Breakfast Bonnie's.
Even if you're not sold on Breakfast at Bonnie's, I mean, Pleasure Luck, good in the maiden race.
I'm not knocking Pleasure Luck.
Right, she ran against a horse and made mischief.
She can win.
I think it's going to be extremely difficult for Shane's Pretty Lady to get past both of those horses.
Well, I'm going to hope that she does.
All right.
You're going to get
a square price.
I don't think she's going to be 7-2. I think she's going to be a much better price.
I don't disagree with that either. Because I think Breakfast at Bonnie's will probably be under even money. Pleasure Luck will probably be a little inflated, and she'll probably be a little inflated. I don't think I would disagree with that.
Pleasure Luck will be that inflated. We'll see how it works out. Race number 4 kicks off the Empire 6 mandatory payout every day. You excited to go to the gate for the first at Fairgrounds?
There's a 1-9 shot.
This is the Anthony Stabile, isn't it? No. They don't have a race name for you down there.
How could you be excited for
I've never been to New Orleans. Race number 5.
I've always told not to go because they're afraid I won't come back.
Race number 5, we got Warfront Fighter again. We'll take a look at him. I'll say what, Scorpion Dynasty did not run badly out of this race. Both Scorpion Dynasty and Warfront Fighter were down on the inside in this race. Confectioner was too wide, chasing the eventual winner. I'm just a little tired of Warfront Fighter. He might win this race. He may fall into a win one day, but hasn't he had his chances?
Yeah, I couldn't pick him. Listen, I put him second.
I think in this...
You did the same thing, right? You put him second?
Well, no, I put him third. Because there's, to me, there's basically 2 horses you're going to pick if you're picking against Warfront Fighter.
I assume you picked
You're
one
either
of them?
taking Mr. Gazzo off the trainer switch to Mike Maselli, ran once in the dirt at Parks in a very, very slow race, or you're taking the first-time Rudy. I figured the first-time Rudy would be a much shorter price.
And that I would take him.
Yeah, and you would take him. And more you would take him. I agree. And it wasn't. And I don't. It was a bit of a coin flip. And you know, By the way, Mr. Gazzo might be just slow. Though I don't think his debut was quite as bad as it looks. I think some horses. The 3rd horse came back and won. The winner is not a good horse. 5th horse ran 10 buyer points better. You know, so I'm hopeful that race is a little better. I just want the 2 strangers.
Yeah, at least he showed Mr. Gazzo showed a little speed in both of his races. That's something Warfront Fighter seems to be lacking. Yeah, I thought the race was 5, 6, 7. I put Warfront Fighter in between.
What about Ballydoyle?
2.
Ballydooley.
Ballydooley, yeah.
Well, the horse did come alive a little in the dirt last time.
Yeah, and he cuts back to the sprint. They sprinted him first time when he came into this country. Yeah, blinkers go on for the second dirt start. I guess.
Always look at Michelle's horses. Probably not much worse though. Yeah. Is that the 1-9 shot struggling?
1-9 shot struggling to get by the horse on the inside.
Which one is the 2, the 1-9?
Yeah.
Okay, rather than bore you with races you're not watching, or maybe you've turned us off, which I understand, or muted us, or whatever you've done, or mocking us.
I picked that one, I think.
You got that one right on top.
Yeah,
you know,
right
pretty sharper than you. We got 4 races to come. The late pick 4 after a quick break.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit NairaBets.com.
Welcome back to Talking Horses. Big A, Anthony Stabile.
There's a lot of entertainment in here besides us if you on this side of the set.
Well, wait a second. There's a lot of entertainment in here having nothing to do with us. We're not taking credit for being entertaining at all. Perhaps we entertain ourselves. Race number 5. Well, 6.
I don't think you give us enough credit, Andy.
Race number 6. One of the many things I love about my friend Anthony Stabile, aside from the fact that he picked me up the train this morning because he's a great guy, many days he makes one pick, which I have to be convinced, he says, who is a horse that absolutely has no chance in this race that I can pick so Andy can ridicule me on the air? What are you, did you number this race wrong?
No, I have numbers on my phone. All right, so.
You didn't pick Tiz Kaznow last time, and now you're picking him in a race where you know what chance he has? Zero.
I knew you weren't going to like it.
Zilcho. Well, that's right. You love those Carl Broberg horses off the claim.
So I do not trust any of these favorites in this race.
Okay.
And I just
So what?
Hold on. Can I finish? Can I finish? When this horse is in spots, he belongs.
Well, he's not in one today.
I don't agree with that.
Okay,
I don't agree with that.
It's okay.
Why am I wrong?
Because he's just not good enough to be competitive here. Listen, I bet him last
Hold on
time.
a second.
I signaled
I know
him
you
to pick
did.
4.
I know you did.
He was so lucky to be victory built. It's not even fun.
Give me. Just,
you love victory built in here?
Just give me a second, okay? Leap to Glory hasn't won in a month of Sundays. Munaki's best races are now out of town. Okay? Financial Stability ran well last time, but
every single horse you've named is significantly
likelier
likelier to win this race
to
than
come
Tiz
back
Kaznow.
and run that same race in two.
Anthony? What do you like about Tiz Kaznow? Because there's nothing in his PPs to suggest he can be competitive
I like
here.
the claim. I like the claim to Broberg.
How's Carl
I think
Dono's
this
claims
horse
in New
is
York?
going to get a very nice setup with baseman Dave off the layoff from the outside. I don't know where Leap to Glory's speed has gone, but you would have to imagine if there was ever a spot where they were going to utilize his speed,
they send him.
it's today.
They have to send him.
Okay?
That's why.
They have to send him. Right. And listen, he makes a lot of sense. They have to send him today.
Well, I don't think is Vargas back today? He's back, right?
There were no rider changes, so yes.
Well, look at Munaki while we're talking about this. Isn't he going to be a little more aggressive with him too
what
today?
are you going to do with Munaki?
So
exactly
what?
right.
What is Tiz Kaznow going to do? Did Carl Broberg get an engine to put on this horse's back?
He was first off 2.5 months. Then he gets to claim now.
He
This was supposed to sit a great. He's going to get a great trip
who
today.
even with a gold rail can't hold on.
I don't want these favorites, Andy.
But you picked a horse that can't win.
But I just got done telling you why I don't like the others,
So
and
what?
I think this horse can get a decent trip, and I think he's going to be okay off the claim. He's going to be a big price
Is
too.
there a tip on this horse? Is he
No.
another pack quick tip?
No. Listen, I've had enough of Leap to Glory. I don't want Munaki in New York. And Financial Stability's got to come back and run that same race, if not a better one, 2 weeks later.
We must have different sets of PPs. Okay.
He's running the horse back quick. That's something that the barn does well. I know those races are all out of town.
They do? What are the stats? Don't give me what's in the paper.
Why can't I get? But those are stats.
Okay, well, he has a $1.74 ROI.
Okay, that's
Okay.
right. He also
Do you
wins
think
at
they were in
20s.
spots like this?
He also went, no, but that's a function of where he ordinarily is. And you might be right. Maybe the tougher the competition, that stat's not going to hold up. But you know what?
Okay.
I'm
He's
not
100 to
finding
1
out
in a
at 3 to
6-horse
1.
field.
Right.
He's 100 to 1 in a 6-horse field. I can only look bad here, but I have a feeling anybody that bets this horse will feel bad after the race. But I wish you the best of luck. And I'm done with Carl. Guy said he was going to come visit us.
Yeah, he never came.
He's like the
I wanna-
worst. He's
listen,
like the guy says, I'm coming over to dinner,
pick
I'm
for-
bringing a bottle of wine,
Yeah.
and he never shows
Never
up.
showed
It's
up.
like a bad date.
I was also told by one of his
friends he would never show up?
by one of his brethren that he would never show up here.
Well, he lied to us. And
I want to use the 1, 2, and 5 in the pick 4 and the pick 5. That's what I want to do in here. I think Munaki is going to be the favorite in here.
Isn't Quick Flash going to win if he runs any of his race? I have a stat. Do we have a stat on Quick Flash? Oh, we do. How about this stat for John Kimmel? 4 to 8 month layoffs for John Kimmel on the dirt.
I did not know that.
16.
I am not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I looked up the stat. I just know.
Well, we know you didn't look up the stat. You haven't used Formulator ever.
Just watching these races for the last 20 years, this is not something John Kimmel's horses ordinarily do well.
No,
they just don't.
They'll do it well enough to beat the 2 here.
Well, and he's the horse.
I tell you what I'm going to do.
Hold on, he's the horse that if he shows up.
I think in all fairness.
I'm not going to lunch bet with the 5.
No lunch bet. You get 3 free lunches if the 2 wins.
That's great free roll. Yeah. I mean, if Quick Flash.
I've abused you enough, you deserve it.
If Quick Flash shows up, he's going to win this race.
Probably.
I don't trust him showing up today.
I think Leap to Glory is going to run very well in here. You know, Leap to Glory was towards the inside. He did get off the rail in the late stages, and I know it was a race that came up unusually fast, but he has better races, and I agree with something you said earlier. if there was ever a race to be aggressive with him, today is the day. And
But
that's fine.
Is there a chance he just lost his speed, Andy? Like he just doesn't have any
he's
speed
been
anymore.
in some races that have had significantly more speed in this race. And you go back to the gemography race, there was speed in there, and he was up close. So I'm going to say he's finally in a spot where there just isn't much.
From in there,
now,
right?
I know Baseman Dave is supposed to go, but there's no reason he can't sit right behind him or be aggressive enough and get his position. And if he goes fat early and Baseman Dave doesn't run, he's off a layoff, then he'll be in front. Today's the day to go. I don't love Leap to Glory. And I don't disagree with you, there's some holes in this race, but one of the holes is that his Kaznow's not good enough to win.
But at least his Kaznow's going to be a price, and if he improves...
But a price isn't enough to like a horse, in my opinion, that can't win.
Okay.
There are plenty of prices that run every day, they just can't win. But that's where we disagree.
Yeah, I looked at this race
Does Brett
and I was...
have an ascot on, Brett?
No, that's his mask.
His mask pulled down.
Yeah, he pulls his
But
mask
maybe he
down.
was getting, like, you know, really sophisticated.
Talked to him yesterday. He was on the air.
Oh, now he's calling you back after he didn't return your calls.
That's you know
Did
what that
tell
means.
him?
You know what that means with Mandaloon today, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, really, like Mandaloon at 4 to 5. Race number 7.
Pusherino.
Race number 7 had a very significant scratch.
Biggest scratch, probably the biggest scratch on the card.
There's a full salute coming out. There's no speed to run with Reed Kahn, and we'll look at Reed Kahn. Can. It would be an H if there was a Kahn.
Correct.
Thank you. That's why you're here. I'm hoping that Vici finds that speed he once had off the Rudy claim.
It's actually just a trainer change. I don't know if
You're
this
right.
horse
It is a trainer change. You're
I don't
correct.
know if this horse was a
You're
purchase.
correct. No, it's not. It's the same
It's just
owners.
the same
Thank you.
owner?
No, you're 100%
Okay.
right. I'm sorry. It's the same owners. I was surprised to see that, actually. I just have to give Vici another chance, although he ran well enough in here to win. I can't trust Reed Can off his races. He's the horse to beat, and I can't take sneakiness. I didn't like him last time.
You were so
He
right
was
about
bet, and
sneakiness. He stunk.
He's been bad.
He was bet last time like he was going to gallop, and he didn't run two steps.
That's why I didn't bet on full. I bet on the race, right? Because I was afraid the way he was bet that he was going to win.
I hope this morning line holds up as well. Now, this morning line will change because I think Reed Can has to be the favorite in here now with the other speed out of here.
You would think.
You would think.
You would think.
Right?
I agree with that.
But
I think David might have made the line different.
I'll tell you now, I'm using 3s and 7s, and I hope you're right about Vici. I'm hoping first time Rudy works, because Vici's going to be the third choice in here, and he's the third horse into the sequence, right? Right? So I'm telling you, but I mean, Reed Can, another horse who's rated in his last 2, but man, if there was a day to blast off, that without full salute in here, unless Vici, but he's just faster than Vici.
But I'll tell you something, Reed Can. His last 2 races, they've not been good.
So the race,
he couldn't even make the lead over Topper T.
But that was Eric Cancel, and he gave Topper T. He blasted him. He rode Topper T to the bias, Andy. He gave him a good ride, and to be honest, Benji did not. He saw Eric blast out of there,
and, he let him go?
he lightened up on him, and that was the end of him for the day. Today, with the full salute gone, see, I still
worry a little bit that Reed Can is on it.
I do too. I think
you have to.
I do too, but he gets his way today. At the very least, on paper, he gets his way today.
No, you were right. Unless he's
so far down that
and
hill.
Rudy gets Vici back to having some speed.
I mean, Vici hasn't had the speed this horse can show for a couple of years now. But Rudy's gotten him fat. Rudy's gotten lesser, faster, and quicker, and more time than this horse.
Lesser, faster, quicker.
Yeah.
I like that. Lesser, faster, quicker. That's good. That's correct. That was pretty good.
It's an interesting, for a 5-horse field, it's an interesting race. I just hope sneakiness doesn't come up and run the race I thought he was going to run last time and knock me out.
I think
you can't use them off the last race.
I think raises my chair when we're for you is Nosferatu. Anthony's freaked out by the Nosferatu doll.
I don't like
masks. Just like
I don't
Ernie
like
Munich.
masks and
He
dolls.
looks just like Ernie Munich.
Owls.
That's why Ernie got him for us, because he looks like Ernie.
That, I don't know. Not for me.
Ernie's very closely related to
Stuff like that
Nosferatu.
is not for me.
So race number 8, the return of Buston Timberlake, who really ran last time. And I will say one thing about Buston Timberlake's race. Kendrick dropped him over the rail in the stretch. But this is not a horse that rode a gold rail the whole way.
Nope.
He accelerated, and then he dropped over the rail. So I do think he was helped by getting over the inside in the late stages. This guy was running.
Yes, he was.
And I think if you're Roddy Valenti, you got to answer the question, was this an aberrant race where a bias helped him in here, which is a possibility. There's also a possibility that this horse has just turned into a monster. I mean, are you going to be surprised when this horse wins today? Because he doesn't need to lead to win.
He does not need the lead to win. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he won today.
You're third. Well, you had a horse on top. That's,
Yeah.
You're in Looney here. La La Land with. But,
Why am I in La La Land?
well, we'll get to that. I'm very scared of this horse.
He can absolutely win today. Yeah, he can absolutely win today.
So we'll show you the Steam Engine double shot dark money race, where Steam Engine knocked over two horses that tried to go for the lead early. You'll see Manny, who's riding dark money, has to put the brakes on the turn. And this was a bit of a reckless ride. I think we got days for it, I think. The justifiable DQ. Regardless, why do you like double shot out of that race?
Well, you were the one who talked about how I may have picked.
I was being
right
nice.
Horse. I mean,
I was being nice.
He was wide the whole way.
No, he wasn't. He's on the gold rail right now. We're showing the race, and you're telling me he's been wide.
Well, hold on a second.
No. You just said to me he was wide the whole way.
Dude,
he's on the gold rail for the first half of the race.
I had to look down. I lost
He's
the arrow.
still on the rail.
I see him
still
now.
on the rail.
I see him
He's on the rail. This guy for the
now.
first half mile of this race. What this was an exceptional ride by Eric Cancel. He hasn't even left the rail. He just left the rail in the stretch there. This was an exceptional ride. You got to really say, every horse was taken out of his game, and he came running because everything fell into his lap. Now, I know there's pace in here. This is a tough field he's running in today. God bless him. How's he going to win here?
He gets a lot of pace in here today, Andy.
He does?
A lot. You don't think so?
I don't know. There's never pace around here. On paper, there's pace. On paper, there's pace.
Do you think Rudy's claiming Bronx Bomber and not sending him?
We'll see. Who knows?
That's not happening.
Who knows? I don't know. When's the last contested fast pace we had around
That's
here?
not happening.
2014.
Let me ask you a question. When Rudy claims them with speed, do they show speed?
When's the last time you came up here and told me I like a closer because there's going to be a lot of speed in the race and that pace developed? When did that happen?
These two.
Never.
These two are hitting.
Saratoga. No, you're right. You were right in Saratoga with that Clement horse. No, that Clement horse would go to the lead that Joel rode.
Blew it when he Seafoam.
Seafoam.
Yeah.
That was when you were right. That was it.
That was 5 lunches for me.
That was it. That was the last
one.
time you were right. There have been about 436 since then. I agree. It's very hard to basically.
They got to hit, right?
Here's the problem. He's still not good enough to win. How does he beat More Grateful, who's can rake behind horses? And we'll take a look at More Grateful in here. I think the only concern with More Grateful is this is his win 2 back, because I actually think he ran very well last time. He was 3 wide on top of that quick pace that fell apart in there against a gold rail last time out. The concern with More Grateful is the drop down to 40,000. That's the concern.
Why the drop? Right.
No, they're giving him way.
Why
They've
the
had
drop?
Enough. Well,
and you think maybe he's better with just a speck more ground? Maybe he's a little bit better.
No, I don't think the distance makes any
Okay.
difference at all. You're trying to tell me there's going to be a lot of pace in the race and somehow he needs more distance. That's nuts. But having said that, he's not going to win a non-winners of 2.
No, he's not.
New York Open race. He's not going to win a New York bred stake race.
You know what I found? I got to tell you.
I don't really think it's that bad a drop.
I'm going to tell you what.
No,
I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Here's what the problem is. He might not win one here. But now that you're running as in New York, but now that you're running them open, you can go and take and run them open anywhere.
What's he going to take him down to win one of those non-winners of 2s down at Oaklawn?
You don't think you can go with one of those non-winners of 2s at the fairground?
What's the purse there? The person here is 74,000. So if he gets claimed, let me finish. If he gets claimed to win the race to get 80,000, do you think they'll be like, oh, I can't, I lost More Grateful. I'm never going to get to go down to fairgrounds and win a $40,000 non-winners of 2.
He went from winning the Open the other then to getting beat just 5 lengths. He got beat to some real horses in the 5.
I get it. He's not going to be 7-2. He's the horse to beat. You've got him second.
He's absolutely. But you got to be suspect.
I'm going to tell you who I think is going to run well here at a big price, especially if the track remains fair like yesterday. I think Category 1 has a chance. Okay. I'm going to bet a few dollars on him. I'll tell you something. Category 1 ran extremely well 2 races back, out of nowhere, and I think you'll agree with that. He ran very well in that field behind Chestertown. Then he was dueling with Jerry the Nipper, who, by the way, disappeared. Has there been any chance with their New York bred stakes he's going to run in? Because he was good. He duels with Jerry the Nipper, dueling outside that day. I thought he ran very, very well in there. I think he's an interesting horse cutting back, because you think about him having speed and been going longer. He's the perfect kind of horse you want cutting back in distance, and he's going to be a giant price.
Yeah.
I actually considered putting him on top in this race because he's going to be such a big price. throw this horse in somewhere in your pick 5.
He's going to be a big price.
This horse is going to run good.
He don't owe
I don't
me.
know if
He
he's good
doesn't
enough to win. That's my
He doesn't owe
concern.
me any money. I used him 3 back. He's okay.
I don't
know
know if
what?
he's. I'll tell you what. He's going to beat your horse.
Wow.
Well, your horse is half
One?
the price. No, you got to give me 3-2. You got to give
Go ahead. I'll
3-2.
give you 3-2.
3-2, 9 over 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
I think Category 1's going to run well. And the other thing is, he is the greatest name of the entire
course.
year. Greatest. Race number 9, I think, is a very interesting
Number 9?
race. And I'm going to tell you something, race number 9.
Tell me something, Andy.
This horse, Irresistible Girl, is so much the horse to beat in here, and I don't think you'll get 5-2 on this horse. I think she's going to be 8-5, and you know what? I think she should be. She ran very well in this race, Ant.
She
was
did.
against the racetrack, trying to go a mile. This was a very good effort by her. She runs back to this race. She's an extraordinarily likely winner of this race, except for one thing. I don't know that she's necessarily better than Summer Brew. Summer Brew's best races are better than her. But other than Summer Brew, I don't think there's anybody here that can beat her. She was good. I don't think you can argue against that.
What
can you?
about the fuzzy from last time?
Well,
That horse ran well last time.
I'm going to make a Black Panda. She did
Yeah.
run well. I don't disagree. Here's my concern with Black Panda, and I don't think you'll disagree with this. I know you liked her last time. It wasn't a bad pick.
give her another shot.
No,
She's
no,
gonna be
no.
the third
I'm not.
choice.
We talked about it last time. I had her like 4th. I have no problem with that. She dueled with the winner of the race. It was a Pletcher first. I got no problem with that. The problem is, and I don't want to knock the connections because I'm not familiar with him, and for all I know, the guy will end up being a great racer. This horse was sent here, ready to roll first time out. These horses very frequently do not run back to their first
No, they
races.
don't.
That's my concern about this horse. I've got the horse 3rd. I'm not saying he can't win. I'm not trying to be critical and unfairly critical because this is somebody that shipped here and had a horse ready to win, and the horse ran a winning race. No doubt about it. The history of these horses coming back is
You're
not
not
great.
wrong. You're not wrong.
That's what worries me about it.
I like the fact this horse is the inside. Now this horse is inside speed, got the race under her belt in the mud. Now she gets to the fast track.
But last time they
last time
they
she was
came
primed.
to get the money,
She was primed.
and
She was primed last time.
Listen, I give them a lot of credit. I don't mean this. I mean this as
She
a
was
compliment.
primed last time. You're not wrong. I
Get
wanted to
these
give her
horses
one. I
to
wanted to
come
give her one
back
more
even
chance.
for top barns.
I wanted to give her
is a
one
tough
more
thing to do.
chance.
She can win. I like the number 9 Summer Brew in here, and I fully admit that the Irresistible Girl is the horse to beat in here. But Summer Brew has back races that are very good, and you look at her last race, she actually ran very well in here because she's dueling between horses the whole way in a race that ended up falling apart. She never really gives up in this race. She actually just keeps on chugging away off the gold rail. And look at Winds of Capri. What is this? Winds of Capri. Coming right up
No, the winner came up the inside.
No,
The second
Winds
horse
of Capri
comes
was
outside.
on the rail and she angled out in the stretch. Excuse me. But she was on the rail,
On
Winds
the
of
rail.
Capri, for most of the race. She did break a little slow, but I think if you want a horse that ran the best race in there, it's Summer Brew, because she did all the hard work in there and everybody else benefited from the race falling apart, and she was off the rail.
I don't
And she
disagree.
has back races that are faster than these horses. She was off a layoff last time. Not a long layoff, but 2
Well, she has 2-year-old numbers from 8-9 months ago that would bury these horses.
Right, that's why.
I
And she
don't
won't
disagree.
be favored. And on a fair racetrack, I think she's dangerous.
I-
I'm not throwing the 2 out, but I'm worried she's not coming back to it.
Right. I kind of married myself to picking the 2 again because she ran well enough last time.
I knew you would.
Take one more chance.
You were a
But
cinch.
Summer Brew, you think Irresistible? I think Summer Brew is clearly the horse to beat. I'm going to tell you the one thing what I don't like about Irresistible Girl. She ran the same race as she did in her debut. I don't think she improved.
Oh my God, Anthony!
I
You
know
just
she
went
was
through
a-
explaining to people
I
why that's
understand why you-
1,000% incorrect.
I know why you think she did. I don't
No,
think
no,
she
Anthony,
improved
I don't
that
think she
much.
did. She was 3 wide against a gold rail in a mile race, and now she's cutting back. And you think she ran the same race in her debut? Come on, Anthony, you're better
Well, hold
than
on
that.
a minute.
You're better than that.
If you think that, then you think she improved at the mile, and the cutback should.
I think she improved in the race. You don't listen to me. I don't care about distance.
have to care about
I don't
distance.
care about distance. We've been through this 100 times, and you say to me, "Oh, this miler can't get 7 furlongs. Norse wins by 5 lengths." You are so focused on distance, and it proves to be incorrect time
How
and
can
time
you
and
not
time and time.
care about
Because
it?
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This horse is good enough to win this race. It doesn't
I'm not saying she's not good
matter.
enough to win this race, but I think.
Like you focus on distance, and I think
I
you're
think
wasting
Summer
your time.
Brew. I think Summer Brew is the
And
horse
you're
to beat.
proven to be wrong.
I think
okay,
Summer
I hope
Brew
she
is the
wins,
horse to
but
beat.
you're proven to be wrong about this distance thing. You keep using it, and it doesn't prove
To
true.
say it doesn't mean anything is.
It means very little, and there's no reason to believe this horse won't be as effective going 6 furlongs as going a mile. At the end of this day, this horse improved in its second start. That's much more likely.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to trust the Brad Cox barn cutting this horse back, that they're not worried about it
Okay.
either. I mean, it just...
I think you made a case, though, that she ran better than she did in her
what
debut.
matters less is less distance. Some horses can't go too far. Most of them can go much
Well,
shorter.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Stretch outs are tough. You look at stats. Stretch out stats are bad for vast majority of trainers.
Most people like most people are more successful backing
for
up.
the vast majority of trainers. So it doesn't matter less distance. It rarely matters. Of course, it matters to a certain extent, but not to the extent you seem to think it does. At least in my opinion. But I don't say it. You can't say the horse didn't improve last time.
But what I'm saying is, if you're arguing that she did, I can argue that maybe it was the distance.
Well, she couldn't get the distance.
Okay.
I can argue that.
Okay.
We will disagree to this the day we die, unless you come around and start listening, which will never happen, but it's always
Same way
out
you
there's a
would.
possibility. Well, I've seen it, though. I see the numbers. I look up the numbers. You don't, but I do. I look up the numbers.
I think it has to mean something. We're never going to agree on it. We're never going to agree on it.
It'll never mean what you think it means.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
You should.
But
look
it'll never be as severe as it'll never be as
Do you think
less important as
if
you
you
think
got
it is.
locked up in your house with a computer and you couldn't leave for a year, how many months in do you actually think you call me up and you say to me,
15
Andy,
years
what's the login for Formulator? Because I want to look at Formulator for the first time in my life. What do you think? Do you think it's like 4 months into it, 8 months, or never?
15 years ago, with that statement, I would have said something that I probably couldn't have ever taken back. I was glad the filter actually worked just now. For the first time in my life, I'm glad the filter worked.
All right, we're done.
Yeah, get me out of
I
here.
hope it's been as fun for you as it's been for us. Head over to Naira Bets if you're not a member. Use the promo code MATCH200. Sign up for Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. Play through Naira Bets. Support racing in New York. It's all the right thing to do. Can we please get a different picture on that? I can't wait. You and I we're gonna hug it out when there's a new picture on that one. Yeah, we can hug it out now. But anyway, that's another story.
That's right.
Bankroll Builder, Derby Bankroll Builder. Bet 50 to win on today's Louisiana.
That's why you're so excited.
Louisiana Derby. I'm just happy to be here with my main man. You get a $20 bonus, win or lose.
App
Play through
only.
the app and the app only. We didn't get to say it last time because Francisco was in like this monster hurry.
Francisco's
First day back.
22:40. If Francisco was out there, there'd be a pace stool
Yeah,
today.
he flew out of the gate. Cross country pick 5
Well
today.
rested.
6 at Oaklawn, 7 at Oaklawn, 8 at Oaklawn, 8 and 9 interspersed here. And Oaklawn Aqueduct triple decker sandwich.
Those things have been
Basically
paying.
an hour of action.
Those
are
things have
great
been
bets.
astronomical too, by the
If
way.
you're doing the work, you got to play those things.
Yep. And I'm not saying you don't need some money. You don't need a little bit of a bankroll to hit them, but what it pays? It's paid six. Was there one winner last week or 2 winners? It's paid like 60,000.
Let me ask you,
last
you
week.
hit it for 6,000 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or was it? How
think
much?
last week I
What
did.
percentage of it do you think you'd still have?
I took some rough beats. I got beat by adding on to the bad beat of to the bad. Every story I had
Well,
wins.
you had a tough beat in the Gotham day.
Gotham Day was terrible. And I bet a 12-1 shot at Oaklawn on the radio yesterday, and I got cut down by a 68-1 shot in the last jump.
Do they have more crazy priced horses winning than any track
It's
you've ever seen?
Unbelievable. I bet a horse that was claimed off of Tom Amos. I never did. I said, this horse is going to be 3 in front of these horses. Got 3 in front. Some 70-1 shot came running down.
It's amazing because looking at Formulator, because we cover the Oaklawn races, I'll say, wow, this horse lost to an 89-1 shot. We are done. We appreciate you joining us. I'll be up here. Maggie will be in the paddock throughout the day.
I'm going to see Phil.
All right. Yeah, that's right. You got those PPs for Phil, for Oaklawn. And Johnny I up next, the reprise. Scratch and changes. Have a wonderful day.